Well, it is a Sunday, it's raining outside, so I thought I'd try and get this Savage running again. It's got the 4.6 engine in it. Hasn't run for a good 2 or 3 years. It has got jellified fuel in the lines, I'm near enough 100% certain. Although, there is some fuel in the bottom of the tank and it ain't jellified, so... But I will be very surprised if the fuel isn't jellified in the lines. The suspension is, well, it doesn't really spring up anymore. I might have to try and sort the suspension out if I'm going to start using this truck again. Yeah, so I know we've definitely got oh, hang on a minute, that might even be seized up. God blimey. You know what? That's seized solid. We'll have to get that glow plug out and see if we can get it freed up, I think. That's not good, is it? Right, I managed to find myself a wrench thingy. Undo the old glow plug. Hopefully it'll be freed up then. I don't want it to be seized up, man. That's not ideal for an engine at all. No matter what engine it is. Let's have a look at that. It's not too bad. Whether it still works or not is a different story. Let's see now. Nah, that's solid, man. Get ourselves a little bit of WD-40 in now. See if we can free it up a little bit. If I can ever get the bloody thing to spray. There we go. That's it. WD-40 is in there now. We'll let that soak down and penetrate. And then we'll try and pull it again. It's not ideal to be seized up though, man. It's, yeah. Definitely need to do something about that. I wonder if the other ones are seized up. No idea. At least I know the carburetor's still working. Look, the throttle linkage is still working down there. I don't know what the carb's going to be like inside. That's probably full of jellified fuel, to be honest with you. So next job, while that's soaking in, I'm going to take the fuel lines off and blow them out. So they're all free, you know. Alright, so I've got this all freed up now. I think, to be perfectly honest, I think it was the pull start that was the issue. Because that's very stiff. That pull start is very, very stiff. And it didn't go all the way back in. But I've sprayed some WD-40 in there. And it's getting looser. Oh, it's really freeing up now. There we go. That's it. Oh. Alright. Well, that's that then. Oh, there we go. Back again. Yeah, it's obviously a little gear nut thingamajig. I forget what it's called. It's obviously not gripping very well. Right, we'll sort that out later on. It might be enough to get it running. This fuel line, the one that feeds the carburetor, is free. That's not got any fuel in it. But there is fuel inside. If I never open it, I'll show you. There is fuel jellified in the bottom there. Whether you can see it, I don't know. But so I've never had to do this before, but I've got a plan. What I'm going to do is I'm going to immerse this whole tank in boiling water and hope that it will sort of loosen up the jellied fuel enough so I can wash it out and blow it through, and then I can just wash it out with a bit of fuel to make sure there's no water left in there. So that's my plan. Whether it'll work or not, I don't know. I've never had to flush out jellified fuel before. In the whole 15 years I've been messing around with these cars, I've never actually had any fuel jellify because I've always run it right out or never let my car stand. So this is the first time I've ever let my car stand before. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Right, here we go. As you can see by the water on the floor, I have freed it up. All I've done was put boiling water inside. Let it stew for a bit, washed it out, shook it a couple of times, blah blah blah. And now you'll see if I blow on this ventilation tube, we get the water come out of the fuel outlet. And that means that we're free. There ain't no more jellified fuel in there. As long as that flows through there nicely, we're happy. So So all I got to do now is get the water out, dry it out, put a bit of fuel in there, a bit of nitro, wash it about, empty that out, a bit more, empty that out, and then I'm fairly happy there won't be any water left in there after that. So then it's just a job of filling it up. The next job I've got to do is put the needle back in. Remember I lost the needle? That needle valve out there, I don't know how I lost it or where it went, that jet. But I've got another one, I believe. I hope I got another one, otherwise this whole thing's going to be a shambles. Let's have a look, see what I can find, shall we? There we go. I thought I remembered buying another one. HPI. $5.99, man. Those are expensive stuff. Look at that. $5.99 with O-rings. Mid-range needle valve with O-ring. Lovely jubbly. KA series carburetor. Fits on K series engines. Yep, that's a K. It's a K 4.6. So here we go then. After I install this, I can't remember how many turns it is for the standard setting. That engine was tuned, but I'm going to have to retune it back to standard, but I can't remember how many bloody turns it is now, so I'm just going to have to run through experience basically of what it should feel and sound like when you're trying to start it, and if it does start. You know, it's just going to be trial and error trying to get it to start, I think, to be perfectly honest. So I'm going to put that in, and I think I'll do 4 turns out and see where that leaves it. If it's poking out too much, I'll put it in a bit, but we'll see what it's like. So here we go. Well, there we go. I decided to do 2 turns out because 2 turns out bring it flush with the edge there. 2 turns bring it flush, and flush is always a good start. If you're in doubt, just put it flush. That should be the standard setting, factory settings anyway. So the next job, I've still got to do this tank. Do this tank now, I think. Get that flushed out. It's all washed out now. Would you believe this fuel bottle? Believe it? Guess how old that is, man. It's the first bottle I ever had. It's about 15 years old. That bottle. Fuel that's in it's about 3 years old. So I don't know whether it's how explosive it's going to be. I've got a bottle of it up there, and I've got another bottle outside. I just don't know, man. So old that even the labels ain't on it no more. Anyway, let's put this tank back on. What's next after putting the tank on? Nothing. It's about done, I think. I could check the carb, but if I hear it squirting fuel in, I know it's alright. Then we'll see if we can get it started. Oh, I better check to make sure the glow plug works. I'll get a glow starter and we'll see to make sure it works first. Alright, see that? That glow plug's working nicely. Nice working little glow plug there. If we never get a focus on it, there we go. So now I'm just gonna let that out there gently. There we go. Now, with a little bit of carb spray, good old carb spray, you can't get enough of that stuff. I've managed to free up the old carburetor. Everything's nice and free now. We've got fuel going in, it's primed, everything's working. All I've got to do is put the glow plug back in, stick the glow starter on it, and we'll see if it's going to run. Should do, it's got everything it needs. Let's try. Don't know how it's going to go, we'll have a look. Hopefully, better position it so I can see it as well. Hopefully we'll get some runnage. It's going to bloody stink if it does. Well, that was exciting. Too much fuel now. If you ever get too much fuel in your cylinder, take the globe plug out and then just pull it a couple of times. So you have to bear with me because I can't see the screen. I don't know whether you can see me or what. Everything goes upside down. See that fuel coming out? Everywhere. Don't know if you did see that coming out, but it was everywhere. Far too much fuel. Better mop that up before I go starting it again. Remember, nitro fuel burns with an invisible flame, so you won't see it on fire until it catches something else on fire, because there is no smoke and no flame from nitro fuel. You will have no idea. A little bit more primage. It's going to be temperamental, man. It's been a long while. Long while since it ran. Where's my other screwdriver? Oh, it's always the joys when you lose a screwdriver. There it is. Just maybe turn that idle down a tad. Seems like it might be a little bit high. Gonna be temperamental, man. We'll get there hopefully in the end. It's running though. It does run, doesn't it? It's like a bloody race car. Meep! It's like, oh, I'm not even going to bother idling, I'm just going to go straight for it. Flat out, why not? Bloody carb spray. comes that blister again. I always get a blister from the pull start there, always. Need a little bit more fuel, man. We used all that fuel already. We're getting there. We are getting there. Oh, slowly. My joints are killing me. Do that up a bit because it's... Alright, I had to change batteries in the camera because it ran out of battery. Anyway, I should be back to pretty much where we left off. I haven't done anything. Left a bloody globe plug starter in there. Don't never do that because it runs out quick. Turn that one up a little bit, see what that does. Turn that one up a little bit more, see what it does. I don't know if we was to turn that one out a bit. Maybe even the nose speed one. Turn that out a tad. Don't really want that one. Put that back where it was. What's happened to that then? Jammed. Jammed for some way. Don't know why. Try it there. Right. What I think I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to take that carburetor off and I'm going to have to clean it out, because I'm not convinced that there's enough fuel getting into idle, and because I'm keep priming it, it's chucking in loads of fuel. That's why it revs up all of a sudden when it started, and when it burns that off and it goes back to try and idle, there ain't enough fuel there for it to idle. So I'm going to take that carburetor off and give it a clean out, I reckon. But I won't be doing that now. But at least I know that it does run. So at least I know that sitting on that shelf for all that time ain't going to be a big problem. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a separate video on how to remove the carburetor and how to clean it out. So I'll do that in a separate video, because I think that'll be better rather than having one big long video. But this video was, I'll tell you what, the fumes of nitro, they proper get up your nose and they proper make you run. They give you the bugger, the biggest sore throat in the world. Anyway, so yeah, rather than have a big long video of loads of random crap, this video was to show it to run. So it runs, you know, you've seen it run, I've shown you the procedure on how to get it running, so we're pretty good on that one. I'll do a separate video on the carburetor, and hopefully we'll have it running pretty well for then, and then we'll better go out and do some nitro RCing. So it's been a long while. Sweet. I hope this video was helpful for you, my friends.